how I would book Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 2022 here on SCW. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now, leave any comments in the comment section. Please like and share the video as well, as we have some fantasy booking fun once again here on the channel. So things to keep in mind of what we're going to do with this video: we're going to have the actual matches that have been announced for the show so far. We're going to keep in mind as well that Tony Khan has purchased Ring of Honor, of course, so this will be the first show that he has in charge, which means AEW are open to perhaps being on this show as well, and who knows, maybe just might have some familiar old faces as well. So to start off the show then, I'd have Alex Zayne against Shane Strickland, and for me personally, I would have Shane Strickland pick up the W in this match, but I'd have a very game Alex Zayne. I want to show that the stars of the future can be very bright, and if Alex Zayne is going to be appearing more often in Ring of Honor, then it'd be a great place to have him have a real showcase match here and really stand out. But to go into more detail on what the narrative for the night could be, afterwards we're going to get an interview segment where we're going to get Bryan Danielson, we're going to get Jon Moxley, and we're going to get William Regal come out to ringside. And these three in the ring are going to say that they were impressed with the first match, and of course they felt it was their duty to come to this show because there's going to be a lot of bright talents for the future. Maybe some people could show some aggression here, maybe show some violence, some technical prowess, maybe show that they have got what it takes to be hanging with this group going forward. And they're going to keep an eye as well on Wheeler Yuta's match, because Wheeler Yuta did show something in a recent episode of AEW Dynamite. He even went back into the ring, almost leaving the best friends as well at that point as well. So that's a match they've definitely got a keen eye on later in the evening. But they said as well they've got a keen eye for what the next match is going to be as well. So they're going to stay around ringside. Of course, Ian Riccaboni, as always, will be on commentary. So we can get perhaps William Regal and Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley, perhaps all in some formats around the commentary. I think Moxley will be the sort of person that will be storming around the table rather than talking if you want, and leaving the talking to William Regal. And perhaps Bryan Danielson could be maybe doing some odd observations. He's done commentary work in the past, but more scouting as well, really having a keen eye on the match that we're going to have between Jay Lethal and Lee Moriarty. A similar story as the first match, but the difference would be that Lee Moriarty would pick up the shock victory. Now, of course, if you look on the match graphic as well, Matt Sydal is going to be at ringside watching this match, but at the end of the match, we can see a congratulations given to Lee Moriarty, pick up a big win over a Ring of Honor legend as well in Jay Lethal, and the offer is made. He's shown he's got the aggression, the integrity, everything that's needed to be a part of this group. Will he leave Matt Sydal to join this group? And there is kind of that sort of second of doubt, that second of feeling, and Lee Moriarty attacks Matt Sydal and joins up with the group of Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and William Regal. We then go to the Tag Team Championship match. I would have FTR pick up the titles over Dem Boys, because I don't believe Dem Boys are going to be signing the Briscoes with Ring of Honor or AEW going forward. I think FTR could be a great tag team. That's a traditional style as well. I think it could fit well with the narrative of what Ring of Honor stands for. So I like the idea of them being Tag Team Champions, so I would make that switch. But I've got a feeling it's going to be an unbelievable tag team match. And the match that follows that then will go back into our storyline narrative for the evening. It is the Pure Championship match, and I've got to say, I love a Pure Rules match, by the way. It represents everything that Ring of Honor stands for, and let's not forget Bryan Danielson, someone who's been Ring of Honor at the start of his career, would have a real keen interest in how this match is going to go. Josh Woods against Wheeler Yuta, and of course we can get the rope breaks in there, we can get the takedowns, we can get everything that goes into one of these styles of matches, but Wheeler Yuta does pick up the W, does pick up the victory, and he shows he's got everything that was being looked for once again. Lee Moriarty at this time comes out as well with Danielson, Moxley, and William Regal, and the handshake is extended once again to say, look, this can be our house. This is professional wrestling's house. This is the Code of Honor as well. You don't want to turn down the Code of Honor, do you? Do you want to come and join us? You are now the Pure Champion of Ring of Honor, and Wheeler Yuta makes that decision to join the group as well. So what started off as the night with just Danielson, Moxley, and Regal, now we have a full-on stable with this group. And obviously, as we go in towards the main event, we have the ROH Championship match of Jonathan Gresham against Bandido. A match that was supposed to happen at Final Battle last year, but sadly, due to COVID, Bandido was unable to be there. Of course, Jonathan Gresham became the interim ROH World Champion. And of course, now it's the two champions going head-to-head, and we get the Undisputed ROH World Champion. And for me, the face that runs the place, I know it's someone else in a different company, but it's going to be Jonathan Gresham that's going to pick up the victory, because for me, he does scream what ROH stands for with this current generation and what the company should be perhaps going forward. I have said in other videos in the past, I think Bandido would actually be a better fit for AEW in my opinion. I'd actually pair him with Andrade El Idolo, just a personal preference. So Jonathan Gresham wins the championship, hard-fought battle, as you want, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever you want it to be. It's an absolute classic between those two, and Gresham holds the championship up high. And as that show is about to hit the credits, as it's about to end, Gresham is attacked by the new group of Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, William Regal's watching, of course, but we've got Lee Moriaty and Wheeler Yuta showing that aggression, and they're saying that this is going to be a championship that they're going to take, that Danielson wants, because he started his career there. Gresham, in their opinion, is not the guy that should be the face of that company. It should be Bryan Danielson, because of course I'm going to build for a future dream match between Danielson and Gresham. It's one on my bucket list. And as that beatdown has taken place, William Regal can then get the microphone and say, look, they're going to need someone to run things around here just to make sure everything's ticking over. I know, Tony Khan, you have bought this, but hey, you've got so much on your plate. I think I should be the general manager of this, the commissioner, whatever you want. He says, I have got previous experience. I can do a good job. I'm great with young talent. And as you can see, I've aligned the best group going forward. This will then bring out Mr. Tony Khan and says, look, it's a good idea you being that, because like you say, you've got the experience. It could work well, but I've seen how you've all behaved tonight. Personally, for me, that's not the Ring of Honor I want going forward. And yes, it is going to be a place of breeding new star talents. It's going to be a place that ROH fans of old are going to recognise, but also it's going to bring in a whole new wave of an audience. But for me, personally, the way you guys have conducted yourself tonight, you have not shown the code of honor. And someone that's got previous experience of being in Ring of Honor should be taking over the reins and should be the person making the matches, perhaps even getting in a match himself if he needs to get physical. The person that's going to be in charge running the ship is none other than Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, of course, previously been in NXT, an NXT champion. For me personally, I'd like to see him do some in-ring work, but I'm unsure of his abilities right now, if he would get in the ring full-time once again, what the situation is. So I would start him in this role, someone with a commanding presence, you know, great for a general manager role. It seemed to be working really, really well in the short time they did it in NXT. I would start with that role, because that would be someone that would also be able to keep everything under control. But that's not all. Samoa Joe is one of the faces that began in Ring of Honor, of course, has got a lot of history with that company, so I think he'd be also a natural fit to make a return in this spot as a legend, if you will. But going back to the brand new Ring of Honor, it's not going to be just a place as well of future stars. It's going to be the stars of the now. Ring of Honor is going to be somewhere that is going to have interest, it's going to have excitement, and it's going to have some familiar faces going forward as well. In fact, Jay Lethal is going to be sticking around, and he's not going to be alone. And we're going to get not just Jay Lethal, but the entirety of the Foundation, the group that was with Jonathan Gresham as well. That's right, Red Titus and Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. And those three come down to the ring. Gresham is back up as well, and we actually get completely different to what the Code of Honor match is meant to be. We get a massive brawl to go off the show. So then we've got some narrative going forward. If we wanted to, we can carry it into Dynamite, we can carry it into a Rampage, but we also can carry it on into Ring of Honor. The idea of the foundation of what Ring of Honor represented going forward, and with its world champion Jonathan Gresham, and against Bryan Danielson, of course, was in Ring of Honor from day one with his group of Jon Moxley, Lee Moriaty, and the ROH Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta. So that's how I would book the show. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Would you like to see this go down? Do you think it'd be a fun idea to mix and match with AEW? Maybe some of the old ROH stars of the past? I look forward to interacting with you. If you have enjoyed this video, then please hit the thumb up. It does help the channel a long way. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already. More fantasy booking videos are on the channel. And of course, if you're into AEW, if you're into WWE, NXT, Impact Wrestling, all of those are featured on this channel as well. And there's going to be so much content as we go into WrestleMania week. So check out some of the videos on the side of your screen right now. Have yourselves a great day. Thank you very much for watching. You've been watching SCW here on YouTube. All the best.